All right. I want to thank everybody for being here this morning. We're going to start this meeting with our work session. We'll go through all of our agenda items here in the work session. And then we'll move directly after that into our main session. All right. Our work session, the first thing we've got on here is personnel.
Yes, we had a sick leave donation request. It will go back to the time that she went out on leave. It's just coming before you right now because we didn't have that meeting at the time. Also, we have a promotion in the Road and Bridge Department. We have a travel request for the revenue office. These are overnight travels for training for employees. We have one in the reappraisal department, and we also have the chairman going to the legislative conference next week.
Any questions on that item? All right. Second item on here is the economic development, Ozark Airport parcel development. And tell you what, I'll explain that bit better. I was fixing to, but I'm going to get started.
Sure. Good morning. So back in the summer, ODEC applied on behalf of the City of Ozark for Growing Alabama funds, which are tax credit funds, in the amount of $150,000, which were credited from Synovus Bank. And Barge was doing the work for us. They helped us with the quotes and so forth for the project. And Barge does a lot of in-kind services for us, but now that we are ready to begin the project, they have decided we really needed geotech, and they're going to have to do some plans to be able to bid it out. And so that has resulted in an extra $22,500 that we will need for their prep for that. And so we are asking for that funding from our economic development tranche of money in the original lodging tax.
Okay, appreciate it. By the original lodging tax, the first two cents lodging tax was to be used for economic development, but it had to come through our office to go to it. The second lodging tax, 2 cents, we've got all that worked out now. It's going to be paid directly to them, and keep it in a separate account, and then it'll all be accounted for. It includes their budget where they can do more hours to take care of everything. Am I correct with all that?
Yes, and let me add to you, the city also had a match to that original 150 of $38,925 from capital outlay. So the city has skin in the game here too. And this is really just to, we know that aviation is a priority here and we're out of available sites. And so this is just being proactive, clearing and grading a drive into that. This is really the phase one of that, but developing an opportunity for future aviation industry on the airport.
Any questions?
Would that go to them directly, or would it come here and
The money will come here on the second tax, and we send it to them, I think it's once a month, we send it to the Economic Development Corporation. All right, no further questions, appreciate it.
Want me to stay for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. So another bit of that same fund, if you recall, back in the spring, a ballpark was announced, a sports complex for the city of Ozark, and our new mayor really wants to go back and, he is not opposed to proceeding with this project, but he would like to go back and make sure things are done correctly and that all due diligence is done to make sure this is going to be a worthwhile project for the community. And so we had a meeting last week with sports facilities companies, and they are available to help with any aspect of this project. But the first one is just to do a feasibility study to determine if this is a go for our community or not. And so the cost of the study is $20,000. The mayor asked me if I thought that we could fund this through the lodging tax. I feel like this could be one of the biggest economic development projects for long term that we've had in a while. So I think it's very worthwhile to come from that fund. So the mayor talked to Steve and I talked, and so now we are asking you for that $20,000 for the study that will tell us whether to proceed forward or stop right there. This is a no-go.
Can I add a little bit to that study? Charles and I spoke with Holly about this, and these people are very reputable. And if they come in and say, this is a good project to move on, with that property, we will be available to, it won't just sit there, it'll be available for more economic development. It's right on 231, there's a lot of options here. And Charles and I talked about it, and Holly and I talked about it, and I think the feasibility study, either direction it goes in, we're gonna be in better shape.
Right, right. And it is a data, they gave us an option of a community-driven survey type study or data-based, and this will be data-based.
Were y'all actually involved in any discussion before that land was purchased by the city?
Very little. I was brought into an executive session at the end of a council meeting, and, you know, I certainly support the project. I think that, I mean, I have high hopes and high confidence that it will be a go. I think that it will be a driver for further retail and hotels and quality of place.
I know this is something Charles is wanting to do, but shouldn't you have done a feasibility study before the land was even bought and moved forward with that? Or is that something that the ex-mayor decided, the previous mayor decided to do, or is that, you know, any details on that, or just one of those?
Those decisions were made by the city. I served with Holly then on the Economic Development Board. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it came to us after it was already in the planning stage with the city.
Right,
We weren't in on the early part of it.
right, right.
Will this company do, I've had several people come to me about this project, and that's pretty low-lying land where this proposed complex is gonna go. Will this feasibility study involve a land use part of it? or-
Holly is doing that part of it. This really doesn't have anything to do with the land itself. This is
Okay.
more of, is the need here in the
Just working
community?
out.
Can we bring in people in tournaments to make it profitable and not, you know, not suck money out, but to bring money in?
Right.
And there's already been, Holly has done this, it's been, they've already evaluated the land, and I can't remember the percentage, but it's only about 32%.
Yeah, there's a small amount of wetlands, but most of
It's
it
not
is.
gonna be able to be utilized for a sports complex or whatever else they decide.
How many acres is it total?
I don't even remember that.
I did know, but I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say.
I have
anything
to,
about
but I
that.
don't have it in my notes with me.
It's a large parcel of land.
30%, that's a pretty high number, isn't it? If it's wet.
Yeah, it's,
What was the total price of all those parcels together, you know, off the top of your head?
No, I know that over, I think I have it in here, total so far that has been invested is, on the city's end, is $1,056,200. So that includes the purchase of the property and, some of the clearing that's already been done.
And some of it they financed through Mr. Peters, is that correct? For
That's my
length of
understanding.
time? Yeah. So y'all wasn't involved in other discussions or? it's just-
I mean, other than that it was happening, but we were not involved in any negotiations at all.
So what is this company actually asking for out of the lodging tax? How much is?
20,000 for the
Is
study,
this from future lodging taxes, or is this money we've already collected?
already collected.
Okay.
I don't have any more questions.
And I just want to say that I had our attorney review both of these projects to make sure it meets the criteria for us allowing the lodging tax to be used.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't have.
Yeah.
Devin, you look like you had questions. Fire away.
$20,000 is a lot of money. I mean, for a study,
Well,
I mean, look, I think it'd be a good project. I just,
we should have come before the commission before we even got as far as, in my opinion. It didn't, I mean, we were where we are today, but, not sure I support how they heard Deborah's with it, I'm not saying it's not.
All right. Any further questions? All right, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We move on to item number 4. This is the lodging tax resolution.
Mr. Shannon, can I say something about this?
Yeah.
What happened was y'all provided your support for the 2% increase in lodging tax. But when I started looking at it, I realized there was nothing in writing as to how to handle that 2%. So I got with our attorneys and, you know, you see the email that I sent. And so, he drafted this resolution for us because, as, you know, in speaking with the chairman, it was the intent for this money to be turned over to economic development, but there wasn't anything in writing. So that's what this resolution is for, coming before you today.
This is the second tax, lodging tax, and we just never did get clarified how it goes to. It goes directly to economic development, and that's what this resolution is for.
We're still gonna hold the first 2%.
The first 2% by the act that it brought in, we still got to hold it. And as they need it, just like we did today, we can make a decision whether they can use that. But this is actually gonna go to them. It's gonna have to be held in a separate account, and they can use it to support their office, whatever they need to do to keep economic development flowing.
Y'all don't use any of that lodging tax for payroll, salaries, or anything like that?
The current lodging tax, we do not. It works just like this, where we come to you, our board votes, for the ask, like we voted last week to come and ask for the funding for the study, and then I come to you. So the current lodging tax does not do any of that. The new lodging tax will be, we've had that recommendation from several consultants that we need a steady stream, because especially with the economy the way that it is, our current investors may not hold out the way they have in the past. A different administration could come along and change matters, so this would be a steady funding stream. So we did not work it into our budget this year. We kind of put it on in a side budget to determine where we really use this. But now in the future, we may be able to budget studies and things like that where we don't have to come to you to ask, but we can afford to pay for those out of that operating account.
Is that what this resolution does? It gives them the authority to spend it how they want to? Is that without having to come to us?
It puts the money into their,
Not the new 2%,
Okay.
not the original
Okay.
2%. The original
that
2%
money
they still
was
got.
set up when the statute was done on it was for them to have more operating money in our economic development corporation. All right, any more
I
questions?
got one. How much do we have, Cheryl? How much money do we have in that account? I mean, we're talking about, I'm assuming 42,500 today? That's about right.
Relatively a small amount, I'm sure.
And that lodging tax hasn't been in effect for just 3 months.
Right, and it didn't start collecting until 60 days later.
Yeah.
And my projection, based on the original, was that it would bring in approximately $115,000 a year.
Right now, what we have in the bank account is, it's about 380,000 that we have.
That's on the first lodging tax, or?
Yes.
Or total, first lodging.
Mhm. And we do have 40,000 of that encumbered right now. It was, let's see. I've got the note that it's on Encore. So, because what I do is I keep it, you know, the cash balance in it, and then I say, you know, based on like some of the projects that we've had, they have to meet certain criteria before we pay out the money, so I show an amount that's, you know, kind of encumbered,
Yeah.
so that we know, so we have about 380,000.
All right.
That's something.
Any more questions on the lodging tax?
Our appropriation's still the same as it's been every year for the last several, to go do it. Haven't changed.
Yes, so it's 75,000, and we pay quarterly.
All right, any more questions? Holly, appreciate it again.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to item number 5, and this was self-explanatory. You know about a list of our next year's holiday schedule. And I saw these ladies working on this. I hope nobody has any questions.
We get with the department heads and, you know, they look at it. We send it to the sheriff's office a few times because, you know, they have all the 3 different, you know, shifts. And, you know, we get everybody involved in it. But
Every time something changes, they come to the chairman I knew the schedule by heart, but it's been changed a few times, but it,
Yeah, so the normal, is 110 hours, and we did do that, this year.
All of ours are still in line with the state holidays, or will they coincide together?
Well, federal holidays, a couple of the state holidays, we don't observe, and one of them we hadn't since before I came here. It's like the Confederate holiday, and then there's Confederate, and then there's, it's a individual, Robert, wait a minute, no. Oh my gosh, Jefferson Davis's birthday, right, yeah, yeah. So those are the two state holidays that, one, y'all had dropped way, before I came, and then the second one we dropped, after, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And what we did was, I think when you dropped the first one, you gave like the Friday of, Easter, like Good Friday. And so, and so we, like evolved, so. But it does follow all the federal holidays. And then some, we do give some that the state doesn't necessarily put out at first, like the state never puts out, because it's a legislative thing, the day after Thanksgiving. They always grant it later in the year, but we go ahead and do that.
all right, any more questions on holidays? We'll move on down to county residents, new ABC license.
So this is legislation that passed in the 2025 session. So what you all have done in the past is you've done the maximum, either you've matched, either the maximum, there's some you'll see on our pass where it says that we can't charge more than half of what the state charges. So y'all have done that. Then all the others, y'all have met and matched what the state charge is. So that's what I put, you'll see a sheet you've been given today as recommendation. And so I've put those amounts in, and it's just following what y'all have done on all the others.
So we have an option to
Change that.
change that?
Yes, and I did contact the state, and there's no maximum for the county, so say if you wanted to charge $2,000 instead of $1,000 on one of these, you could do that.
Do we even have a distillery in Dale County?
Yes, we do.
A legal one now?
There was one built in one part of the county, and then it was sold to somebody else,
Not familiar with that one.
somewhere around.
Probably still not familiar.
There was a distillery here, and I know it was in operation, because the man that originally built it, he had, I don't know how many barrels, they have to age that stuff and do all that, and he sold it after he was about 4 years into it, and never sold the product because it wasn't aged out yet. I think it was around Midland City somewhere.
But I do want to let you know, Commissioners, that you all can change this. This comes up every year. So you'll see like the past, it's like, I think it comes up in February that you have to renew the license. So you can change these every year.
Yeah, I think, I don't have a problem, I just, of course,
Yeah.
the state keeps most of these businesses big down anyway, so I certainly don't want to put in there and do, depends on what the state not helping them with, so.
All right, any more questions on the license? All right, we'll move on to item number 7. Administrative 111, so capital assets.
And since the engineer is here, I'll let him handle it.
We have an old 2007 Trailblazer Chevrolet that we've replaced recently with an Aldott surplus Sport Explorer. And we're just gonna get rid of that high mileage vehicle while it's still running.
I think the sheriff wants that Trailblazer.
We'll take it. Whatever you got, we'll take it.
Come on, Sheriff.
It does have some body damage.
Been good investigating.
Get broke in.
All right, any questions on the assets? All right, we'll move on to the SSU2 resolutions. And Have all of y'all read that resolution? It's the same resolution getting all the, trying to get all the other counties and cities to vote. Whereas the Alabama Simplified Sales Use Tax Remittance Act codified at section 4023-191 Code of Alabama 1975 established a process by which the state of Alabama collects and use taxes from eligible sellers on behalf of Alabama consumers. Whereas on August the 12th, 2025, the city of Tuscaloosa, the school district of the city of Tuscaloosa, and the city of Mountain Brook filed a lawsuit in the Circuit Court of Montgomery County, Alabama, against Vernon Barnett in his official capacity as Commissioner of the Alabama Department of Revenue, asking the court to direct Commissioner Barnett to disqualify particular businesses, entities from the SSUT program. And whereas on November the 10th, 2025, the court imposed a 30-day deadline for any other interested parties to file motions to intervene in this litigation. Whereas the SSUT program has been an essential source of revenue for our county, and the plaintiff's lawsuit, if successful, would jeopardize the county's ability to maintain the current level of governmental service it provides to the public. Therefore, be it resolved, and I hope we feel this out, Dale County Commission, that the county is directed to take all necessary actions, whether by itself or as part of a joint undertaking, to intervene as a defendant in the SSUT litigation and to protect the county's interest in the critical revenue. And I would gratefully appreciate that if y'all would be willing to pass that.
Mr. Chairman, I pulled up what the ACCA gave us that summarizes what the issues are with that lawsuit. And I just want to let you know, I think it's the city of Tuscaloosa, it's the city of Mountain Brook, and I think the educational for Tuscaloosa. And what in this lawsuit they filed against the Revenue Commissioner of Alabama is it claims that Amazon should be ineligible for SSUT. And what our response to that is the removal for SSUT does not mean Amazon would owe local sales tax. That would devastate everyone in this state, every county, every municipality, if it was ruled that Amazon could not participate in the SSUT. Claims DoorDash and others should be ineligible for SSUT. Removal from SSUT does not mean that these companies would owe local sales tax. And I think even the ACCA, they've been checking this, and I think Steve said he's checked this with his employees, and we don't see that DoorDash is, we see that they're charging sales tax, not, SSUT. So I think the ACC doesn't know why this is one of the claims in the lawsuit. And then the third thing is that it claims the powers granted by the Commissioner of Revenue is unconstitutional. So this is very serious. It is serious for everyone in the state of Alabama. As the ACCA has told us and has brought on experts, we would not be able to collect because of the Wayfarer versus, is it South Dakota or North Dakota? South Dakota, that we would not be able, Amazon would not have to collect sales tax or use tax in the state of Alabama because of the burden of it. So this is just, to me, stunning that the city of Tuscaloosa is putting this in jeopardy for everyone, including themselves. I think it's basically they don't understand how this is made up.
I hope y'all are all aware of what we've been doing with SSUT money. We've improved the sheriff's budget by over $3 million. We've improved all of our employees with sizable raises, COLAs they've got for the year. We brought all of our departments up where we got good retention, we got fantastic employees, and we've got a sheriff's department. I know people get tired of me hearing that, but we've got one of the finest sheriff's departments in the state of Alabama, and that's.
I don't get tired of hearing. I don't get tired of hearing.
But
Be glad to be driving that trailblazer.
we don't understand, the sheriff's department's for the safety of our citizens. And we've got all this working together, and when I say it's one of the finest, I've actually, Hoss Mack, that's over the Sheriff's Association, him and I have talked about our department and how good it is. And when I get the man that's running the association telling me that, I feel like we've done a good job, basically. And I don't mind telling everybody that, but,
Tuscaloosa County, are they on board with the resolution, are they in line with the city or this?
They want to lawsuit.
It's the city.
They want to,
Tuscaloosa County.
That's,
oh, no, the
County.
county's right in there with it.
So the county's right in there with the mayor of
Yeah,
Tuscaloosa.
you don't jump on Mr. Maddox if you're in the county.
That's what I was wondering.
No, they want, if a resolution comes out of Tuscaloosa County, I'll be real surprised. But Walt Maddox controls that part of the country. And the thing with DoorDash, you know, this is gonna get a little complicated, y'all. DoorDash is a California-based company. And for whatever reason, if you call McDonald's, you want you to order delivered to the door by DoorDash, or you call any restaurant. DoorDash actually pays wherever they're picking the food up, sales tax. But then their corporate office in California pays this tax, SSUT. Now, why they're doing that, I don't know, but they can't use that as a battle they're losing. And they don't lose any sales tax on all, it's changed so greatly with delivery service because how many people here call Walmart and go by and pick your stuff up or have them deliver it to your house? You just paid sales tax if you did it in Ozark, Enterprise, Dothan, where you paid local sales tax. That's not a SSUT. And every business I know of is offering that service now. So that keeps it in the brick and mortar store. And all we're really getting out of SSUT, which is a major amount of money, is the online orders coming from these big companies. But the brick and mortar is actually picked up when they came up with this new design of you can pick it up at the store and we'll deliver it in the same town we're selling it in.
The sales and use tax in Dale County is at the highest levels ever. It has increased
Yep.
the last 4 or 5 years. I run that report every month. Look
Yep.
at it.
So brick and mortar sales. are
Yes.
still going up there, yeah.
Yes.
Sales.
So if there's any argument that says that internet is taken away from brick and mortar, it's not in Dale County. And it's really not. I mean, because Dale County, what is collected for sales and use is the highest ever.
Yeah, it's going up, and I think it's doing it in every county.
Mr. Chairman, I know you've been looking from our water county and these resolutions. What percentage of 67 counties are county resolution supporting SSUT?
I don't have the exact numbers right now, but it's getting stronger and stronger every day. We have about 2 weeks of turning in. And I'd like to thank Mr. Enfinger for helping me out with it. I've been visiting cities all over the place, and Mr. Enfinger volunteered to back me up on some of the things that you can do in his district. He's only got 2 cities signed up, and we're working on 2 more over there. I've been outside our county for
Under the average, three point eight.
that's part of our goal, that I picked up 9 cities outside the county. And the amazing thing is most of the cities I've talked with, and Adams probably experienced this, first thing is they don't even know what SSUT is. And then when you get the clerk to pull the avenue report, they go, I didn't know we were getting that money.
And that's stunning. I mean, for them not to realize what jeopardy this is.
Yeah.
And I know that we've gotten resolutions from Newton, Midland City, and Ayrton so far. And we've got others that are, working on theirs.
Yeah, the council meetings
But
are this week,
it's-
and I know we're gonna have 8 more.
Yeah, it's amazing, the lack of education or information putting out to, these cities where this could be in jeopardy, for them. Another thing, like I said, if you rule that Amazon is ineligible, I mean, that stops, all the money, and correct me me if I'm wrong, you know, Chairman. Also, another thing that could happen is like the state of Louisiana, it could go into escrow. Theirs was in escrow for 3 years. And that would be, you know, just as devastating to us that the money is completely held up until the lawsuit, you know, is decided. So it's really a dire situation.
Did you say their school system up there was in litigation as well, or they signed on for?
No, they're
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa. They signed on the law.
Yeah, right.
All right. Have we confused y'all enough on SSUT? All right, we're gonna move on forward to number 9, bank account.
I need permission from the commission to open up a bank account to handle the FSA spending accounts, the flexible spending accounts, and the dependent care spending accounts. Because it'll, the agency that's handling it for us, they will be drawing funds out of this bank account, and claims will be drawn out of it, and we will be putting the funds that the employee contributes into it. So it'll be like like a clearing account. But to open up a bank account and also to transfer like $10,000 into it for a cushion, it'll be a due to the general fund. So that's the way it's recorded. We have that in our current clearing account. That's our AP checks and all the payroll checks. But there's, you know, money sitting there just for a cushion.
I know we're early on in this, y'all have much input in your employees, Sheila and the sheriff? No?
And we just, you know, pushing out all.
I know it's, I said, so I know we're early on it,
What is the recommended amount per employee? I mean, I know they're not familiar with it, so where we kind of, just a recommendation start amount for them?
What I've said, you know, we've had, you know, a few employees call us. I say at least put $100 in, try it, because that $100 is really gonna cost you only $80 because of the tax savings, because it's even, you don't pay, you know, the Social Security or the Medicare taxes, so that's automatically a 7.65% decrease. And, you know, and see how it works. I mean, it is I was using it 25 years ago. I made the decisions, you know, and I'll let y'all know in an email, for it to be the most flexible for our employees. Meaning that they could, I think it's $660 that you could move forward to the next year instead of losing it. But, you know, put $100 in, it's really gonna cost you $80. And then that $100 is gonna be taken out of 24 paychecks all year long. And just, you know, see how you like it, because what you get is you get a debit card, you go in, you're buying something at Walmart or wherever, you swipe that first, it'll take off everything that's eligible, and then you know, do your remaining, you know, payment. It's co-pays, you know, there's just, you know, a variety of things.
Do they get to adjust that amount once a year?
No, it's a one-time election. So,
They can't adjust it
no,
once
they can do it next year.
That's what I'm saying, they can adjust it
Oh,
once
sorry,
a year.
yes, they can elect, you know, like next year.
Okay.
And so, you know, so if you're talking like braces for your kids, I'm trying to talk my husband into hearing aids. So, so, you know, you look at something like that. So, you know, if I was to put like the max, or it's just a little under like $3,000, you know, I'd say about 20%. So that puts me at $2,400, right? I've just saved all that toward that pair of hearing aids, plus that 24, or, you know, the tax back is taken out of the whole year. It's like a payment plan, but you have that $3,000 January 1st, you know, to spend it. So it's wonderful. I know the first year that we did it in the last private company that I worked for, I mean, people were clamoring to sign up the next year once they saw how it worked. Daycare is you get reimbursed as your money is in the account. I used that before, and like I said, this is regulated by the IRS, but I did choose to be the most flexible for the employees. Like that, this administrator, they're going to handle any COBRA if we have someone that covers, because what will happen if someone leaves our employment, that plan is like our plan, the employer's plan. And so they have to, if they have money sitting in there, they would have to COBRA it, which is a really easy thing to do, to be able to get, to be able to continue to use that money. So we got that set up. We've got that they can roll over $660 from one year to the other. And we also have that any expenses up to December 31st, you have 90 days to file that claim, to get that money, reimbursed. So it's, it's very flexible. It'll just be amazing once, people use it. So.
Just kind of food for thought, I mean, probably legally we couldn't do this. Nikki, probably, and I know this. Say if we had 50 employees that wanted to sign up for it. We could put 50 in each account to kind of help jumpstart and let them see the benefit of it.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
This is very, IRS regulated. The commission is already paying the fees for this. So the employees are not paying any fees, for this. The commission is picking up all
I
of
know
it.
we paid the original 2, 3, whatever it was, before. I can't remember what you said it was.
Like the
Wasn't as much as
annual?
what you thought, was it, originally?
Well, the annual, it's around $200 or $300 to get it set
Yeah,
up.
that's what I can't.
And then it's gonna be annually about $300. Then we pay $4 per month per employee to have it. And way back in the day, I think it's mainly because, the debit card, system. And so, it's just, it'll be a wonderful thing for the employees. There's, it is a lot of work for us to set it up, but it's gonna be a great thing for the employees. And if you take $100, and then it's really gonna be, after taxes, $80 difference in your paycheck over an entire year, because it's taken out in payments. So, and then see, because you can definitely spend $100.
Like the cards that they're gonna get, is it, if they're on a family plan, does like husband and wife get one? Or
I think so, yes. Yes. And I checked out some other things. If your spouse is working somewhere that already has it, you can still have your account. So then that's $6,000 is something that you could put toward it. And then that would more pay for the hearing aids that I want my husband to have. But, so it's really, it's really a great thing. And like I said, I was using it 25 years ago. I've always wanted to get this for our employees. I was always hoping the state would allow us to start participating in their system. So we had to find an administrator, or I had to find an administrator. So I looked to Houston County, who's had it for years, and they've been with this company. And they say, it works great.
You might need to make the rounds once it gets a little farther in, to kind of help promote it in the courthouse with some of her employees.
Yeah, we've offered to go out to departments. We did a quick turnaround, because like I said, it's taken a lot to get to this point, to get the information, to get the program set up. And if we want the cards in the hands of the people in January, we had to have them sign up by next week. But I sent out information like a month ago when y'all first approved for us to go forward, so everyone could start reading about it and start making decisions, so that when we actually have the enrollment forms, we could go ahead and quickly do this.
All right, any more questions?
Do you get monthly statements or anything, or like yearly statements of where you spend the money?
Yeah, in fact, I believe, based on the information, that you'll have an app that you can sign on to, and you can see where you're at with it and everything. And so, and then we'll have access, to it also where, but we got information. I didn't send it out to everyone because I didn't want to confuse anyone, because even Linda and I, when we first looked at it, we were like, they don't sign up themselves on this, do they? but you will get an app where you'll be able to keep up with it.
All right. No further questions. All right, we'll move on to the Clay Hatch agreement. Mason, I'll let you help me with this a little bit after, what, 6 months?
All I can say is finally.
We have finally got a contract.
I've seen Peachtree done quicker than this.
Yeah,
I like to thank Mr. Bull, though, Mr. Grantham, for their help on it.
yeah, he was down there at all the meetings with
He
me.
had to suffer through it with me, so.
But it's in effect now, finally.
I'll say one thing, and Mason back here. We have a more controlled commission meeting. If you ever want to go see a kangaroo court.
Yeah.
It's different. I've been to several of them. All right?
Are we kind of the same, and I didn't read the fine print, are we kind of the same agreement with the town of Barrington as far as the
Yes.
money?
It is pretty close to Ayrton. It's a little different with each community, but,
It's no money the first year. They gave us all their equipment, their 5 or 6 patrol cars, all their computers and stuff, which is pretty good stuff. And the second year's when the monetary kicks in.
and there's several things in there. One is any legal action they take against somebody, it doesn't go through the municipal court, it goes through the district court.
That's right.
And, so it's taking it all out of the hands of Clay Hatch. All right, any further questions on that? All right, we're gonna move on forward to our regular work session, our regular meeting. And the first thing, we've got someone here, you step to the mic up there. First thing we do is have our citizen who wants to speak to us, get up there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For those who don't know me, I'm Chris Woodall with the Alabama Baptist Children's Home and Family Ministries, and it's a joy to be able to address you all. Thankful for the invitation from Commissioner Infinger, who specifically instructed me to stick to 5 minutes. And as a former pastor, I'll do my best to stick to my notes to honor that. I want to simply begin by just expressing our gratitude at ABCH for your commitment to care for vulnerable children and families through your generous allocation. Our mission, we exist to protect, to nurture, and to restore vulnerable children and families through Christ-centered services. We are, through the support of Alabama Baptist churches, non-denominational churches, like-minded churches, individuals, business owners, the list can go on. Because of the generosity of our partners, we are the largest faith-based foster care provider in the state of Alabama. Right now in our state there is what most would agree would be a foster care crisis. On any given day, the statistics tell us that there's approximately 6,000 kids who are in the Alabama foster care system. We at ABCH have been able to serve approximately 500 of the 6,000 to date this year. In Dale County, there's approximately 63 children who are in foster care. I have the privilege of serving out of the Dothan office, which covers 8 counties, including Dale County, and we have a number of licensed foster families through ABCH who provide care to children in Dale County and the surrounding counties. It's our goal to see those children who enter into our care to ultimately be reunified with their biological parents, and we celebrate that when that takes place. However, there are some occasions when that does not take place, and courts will intervene and rights will be terminated, freeing those children to be eligible for adoption. A number of our ABCH foster families have pursued adopting those children, particularly in our area. This year in 2025, through our office and location, we've seen 8 reunifications. However, we've doubled the number of that in adoptions with 16 today, with a few more coming up in the month of December. And so we're grateful for the impact that we've been able to have because of the support of folks like you. Very quickly, just in terms of the umbrella of who we are and what we do provide foster care services throughout the state, in particular in the Dothan and the southeast area. In 2 of our locations in Mobile and Gardendale, we have what's called the Family Care Home. That's an important new ministry where we have homes that are created for single mothers with dependent children who are in a struggling status, which we allow them to move in and to live with us for about a year, year and a half, and provide services, life skill training, things of that nature to keep DHR away and to position those families to flourish and to thrive. And we're grateful to have at the end of May what's called our Camp of Champions, where we go to Chocolate Springs in Talladega, Alabama to provide an entire weekend camp experience for our foster families and children. This is at no cost to them, and it's important because our families can gather the majority of their renewal licensing hours and training at that camp while providing a host of activities for our kids to be involved in. And it just really normalizes relationships and helps kids to understand that they are normal like any other child that's out there. We're thankful for our college care ministry. A lot of the kids that come through our care receive tuition assistance, including a gentleman who now serves as one of the pharmacists at UAB. His name is Stephen Scott. He came through ABCH and foster care, and when he aged out, he went into college, attended Sanford. Because of the ministry and the assistance and the support we provided him, he was able to graduate and now is doing super well, successfully, and is an advocate for vulnerable children and families as well. Lastly, we have what's called Pathways Professional Counseling. All of our locations, including the Desert Southeast, has licensed professional trauma-informed Christian counselors who provide support to all of our families, our children, general referrals. The list goes on and on and on, providing a host of counseling from anxiety to suicide prevention, marriage, relationships, trauma matters, and things of that nature. We can do all of this and so much more because of the generosity of our partners. And again, we're thankful for what you guys are contributing to aid in that mission and ministry to help struggling kids in this area, and then of course across the state. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to share that. I hope that was in 5 minutes.
Well, it was within time. This time I'd like to ask you to come up here behind the desk. We've been trying to work with you on this, and we're proud to be able to give this appropriation, but I'm gonna let you deliver it.
Yeah, let me say this, I can't think of a more deserving organization than the Alabama Children's Home, and thank you for the work that you do.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Thank you. Let's change the whole thing. Appreciate you. Nice meeting you. Thank you.
All right, I've got another public comment I'd like to read to all of y'all. And this was sent to the commission office. This is from the Echo Volunteer Rescue Squad. We would like to take this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks to the Dale County Commission for including Echo EMS as well as the other county EMS organizations in this year's annual budget. Your decision demonstrates a strong commitment to the safety and well-being of our citizens and ensures the vital emergency services remain available to our community and surrounding areas. This support not only strengthens our local emergency response, but also provides peace of mind to the residents who depend on it. On behalf of everyone in the Echo EMS coverage area, we truly appreciate your dedication, leadership, and investment in the continuing health and security of our county. And that's signed by all the board members and then the chief of it, he used. It's nice for us to get commended sometimes for some of the things we do, and we do all work hard to try to keep our EMS program in good shape. All right, at this time, we've established a quorum. We have the invocation of Mr. Carroll and the pledge.
Let's pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for all the many blessings that you give us each and every day. Lord, as we come upon this Thanksgiving season, Lord, we just help us to take time to realize just how blessed we truly are. All good things flow from you. And Lord, most of all, we just thank you for your Son Jesus and the sacrifice that you made there on the cross for our sins. Lord, we ask you to forgive us our sin, and Lord, we tell you, Lord, for doing this business part of the meeting. we pray that everything that's done here be pleasing in your eyes when the courts do what's in the best of Jesus' name.
Mr. Grantham, will go please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this time I'd like to ask for approval of the agenda, adding items 8, 9, 10, approval of our commission meeting minutes from our prior meeting and memorandum of order. Got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Our first item on the agenda is personnel and travel. I'd like to have a motion to approve that, what was discussed on that. Have a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Our second item is our economic development. We talked about with the airport, partial development. I'd like to have a motion to approve that.
Second.
I got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Our third item is economic development feasibility study. I'd like to have a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our fourth item is the Lodging Tax Act 225-28 resolution. I'd like to have a motion to approve that.
Motion. Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, the holiday schedule.
Motion.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. County levies for new ABC license types. I need a motion to approve that. Got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our seventh item is the capital assets. I'd like to have a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
There's none opposed, so the motion carries. Our eighth item, our SSUT resolution. I need a motion and a second on that. Got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our ninth item is the bank account that the administrators spoke to y'all about. I need a motion to approve that.
Second.
I got a motion and a second, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And I sure hope y'all approve this last one.
I'll make the motion.
Flayhatchee Sheriff's Agreement. I need a motion and a second.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor, state by saying aye. None opposed, so the motion carries. All right. Now, any of the staff has got a report to give us.
Wiregrass did finish paving, and we've worked on some of the shoulders, we've got some more shoulder work, and we've also been cleaning a lot of shoulders, and catching up on work orders. Our work orders are pretty low right now, thank God, but, we haven't had a lot of rain either, so, but we're just catching up. Gotta get these shoulders done.
Mr. EMA Director, you got anything for us?
We'll just start seeing some cooler temperatures over the weekend, highs in the 60s. And we are going to get a little bit of rain tonight, looking about 9 o'clock until around daybreak. They are still saying 1 in 5 chance of severe, and that's a good thing that's coming in overnight, so there's not a lot of vertical lift with the heating. So, National Weather Service came out with the end of season hurricane forecast, and they are expecting nothing else for the rest of the year.
Good.
So,
Susan, you got anything?
I just want to thank y'all for all that y'all do for our department and employees.
Auburn Extension. You got anything?
Our 4-H agent had her baby on Veterans Day, And so I'm in the schools full-time right now. Y'all seeing me less and I'm talking less, which I know you enjoy. And, but it's been a wonderful blessing having another little baby. So we now have Andy's granddaughter and John Grellis.
You did good, those 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes.
Thank you for passing all three of our issues today. I'll try not to be so needy moving forward. And just to be very clear, the ballpark is not an ODEC project, but we want to be in support of that because of the economic impact that we feel that it can have long term. And if this is pulled off, it's going to take a lot of partners. We were able to visit 17 Springs in Millbrook, and it's been a huge asset for them. But there are a lot of partners, and it took a lot of work between those being in agreement to how to move forward. And still, as they're in their second phase, and there'll probably be more. But economic development really took the lead on the retail part of that in their area, and that's probably where we will really come into play with that. But we have to get it kicked off before we can ever get to that point in it. So, but thank you.
I know on behalf of all of us, we appreciate what you do down there every day.
Thank you.
You do a great job. And I know we ask a lot of questions sometimes. A lot of times we're not kept in the loop on some things when it comes to spending lodging tax. And I hope that new administration and communication will be better between the city and the county. And, so when you come up here, we won't engage you with a bunch of questions. But we do appreciate what you do each and every day. You do a great job. Your staff, Lisa. I heard the rumors, Denise retired?
Not that I'm aware of.
Tell me that, somebody told me.
She will eventually, I'm sure, but not anytime.
She's eligible for it.
Eligible.
She's not using it.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You may be the first to know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Speaking of accolades, though, Mr. Chairman, you and Bill, I know y'all put a lot of time and effort in this SUP resolution, and we appreciate that. And that's not an item I know working with the cities on the south end on that end. It's very vital, and I hope in 26, not to beat a dead horse to death, but I hope all our department heads know when we spend a dollar that to think about what would happen if we do this SUT. It's something moving forward that it makes you all just think about. It could be a reality, and we need to be good keepers of all of our money, and in the months ahead especially.
I just want to say that the chairman and I, the chairman went to a press conference yesterday, and I tagged along, and I had some information about SSUT and what the deal was about it, and I passed it out to the media people there, because they don't really understand it, but it was the information that the ACCA had given us that kind of outlined what the issues were, why it can't be considered a regular sales tax and it is a use tax, and all of that. And I know that, the ACCA is really trying to, save this and pushing it out to us, to try to get the word out. Just want to say, for my report, we had the audit exit last week for FY24. I just sent out an email on the FSA and Definitive Care spending accounts, telling department heads and other elected officials that I would be glad to come out to their department, just to speak with their employees, just to let me know. And I will be working on our year end. We do have deadlines that we have to publish our unaudited financials by the end of the calendar year. So I will be working and getting that out for us. And I do need y'all to stick around because I do have 2 resolutions that I need all of the signatures on to.
And speaking of that, I think that was the shortest exit all I've ever sat through.
Well, good. I didn't make it.
But
I did get y'all a response in my emails.
A good one.
Absolutely.
I think we've reached the point now, we didn't reach it until we got this audit done. Cheryl and I are probably going to be contacting our bonding company, and I think we can get a reduction on our courthouse rates. a good possibility. We missed that option a year ago, we missed it again one time.
And I think we talked to him about, what, a month or two ago, and he said as soon as this
As soon
audit
as
got
we got
released.
this, and he actually checked with the state where we were, as soon as we get this audit, we're gonna be eligible.
So there was a direct correlation between the audits and the bond,
Mhm. Oh, yeah. That's,
and the reduction.
if your audits aren't complete to start with, we wouldn't have been able to even get a bond issue, but that bond issue, we were behind on audits.
That's what, we're behind.
We could have saved $500-something thousand by renegotiating the bond on the courthouse, but we didn't have everything complete, but now we're complete. And I don't know what kind of reduction we'll be able to get, but we can redo the bond on the courthouse and save a considerable amount of money. It's kind of a strange thing. You redo it, you take the money you saved and put it on the bond. Nikki probably knows more about that than I do, but anything we can save here to show that bond, might as well do it.
And I just want to say, you know, about the audits, y'all had like a 10-year period of time where you were turning over administrators every couple of years. And there's no way that you can stay caught up with audits and everything changing, you know, so much. There, you have to, you know, it's because, you know, then you get a new administrator in, you have to, you know, just complete all this stuff. And that's what was just really hurting is like, I was like, what number, whatever, in like a 10-year period of time. And this is one thing that happens when that happens. It is very rare for an administrator in a county to change, much less that often in that amount of time. And and you know, between that and then the examiners were behind. They were having, you know, hiring issues. They had a lot of people retire. So there was, you know, there's like a lot of factors. And we did, one decision that me and this chairman made was we changed who was putting our financials together. Because the person before that, he actually ended up quitting like a few months after we made that decision, because I told the chairman, I said, something's wrong, something's, you know, not right, and sure enough. But, you know, the cycle of things, and when you get someone, they put Board of Educations, I think by law, ahead of counties, and it's just a whole thing. So I just say, you know, in the future, just realize that, you know, I'm not talking about myself, I'm just talking about this position is real important to keep everything flowing.
Stability,
Yes.
that's the key word.
And not to ever think that the chairman can replace the administrator, can do those duties, and you know, all that was going on in that period of time.
Absolutely.
I can guarantee you this chairman cannot do what she does.
You know,
Good work with her, but I'm not going to.
it's like, you know, you have one person focusing on this for you.
All right, any more discussion? All right, this time we're going to ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor, state saying aye.
I just want to wish everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Our next meeting will be on December the 9th, and now that we're going to adjourn the meeting, I want y'all to be thinking about, we're probably going to have to cancel the last meeting in December for the following.